tell you something, Tomato Lady. Whatever you want most is going to be the worst thing for you.
What is it?
That's tug fork water for baptizing baby. I remember when you were baptized in tug fork, you were just a little old bit of a thing, scared to death. When the reverend went to dunk you over, you hauled right out. Lord, I remember that so good.
Bye, Granny Logan.
Bye.
They gone?
Yes.
I'm packing my shaving stuff. Did you see my belt buckle? The silver one with the sheep shank on it.
The what on it?
Sheep shank. It's a rope tied in a knot.
Oh, I wondered what was on there.
So did you see it?
No, not lately, I mean.
What about my Toto's cap?
Is that the blue one?
Yeah.
You left that in Manny Kiro's car. Remember?
Damn it. Manny moved to San Diego.
Well, I can't help it. That's what you did with it.
Damn. What the hell is this?
It's water from Tug Fork, the creek that I was baptized in. Me and I guess practically everyone else in my family. Granny Logan brought it for baptizing baby Dwayne Ray. Wouldn't you know she'd bring something weird like that?
So the theme that we picked to focus on in this scene is the idea of family and what it means for people to be family. So the first place that we showed this was when Granny and Luann were talking, and we contrasted that with the interactions between Angel and Luann. And so when Granny, Logan, and Luann were having their conversation, you could tell that they cared about each other, and they made eye contact, they looked at each other, and their body language kind of showed that they were family. And when Angel and Luann were talking, even though like they're family because they're married, so they're technically family, they couldn't even look at each other when they talked, which really showed the difference and the divide between them as a couple and as a family. The bond of their family was broken when Angel dumped the Tug Fork water down the drain, and the water was really representative of Luann's family and her background and her heritage and the respect that she had for her grandmother and her mother. And so when Angel dumped the water, this broke the rest of Luann's desire, like any desire that she had left to keep their family together. And later on in the novel, Angel did come back to their house to see Luann and tell her what he was doing. But even though Angel did that, Luann never reached out to him again after that happened. So that kind of shows the divide in their family. And after that, this is a really bad segue. So Luann pretended when he dumped, or when Angel was asking her about the water, that she didn't care. She says, "Yeah, wouldn't you know that Granny would do something crazy like that?" So she kind of like shrugged it off, pretending like she didn't really care about the water. And this kind of shows that she is a very submissive character. And she didn't want to put up a fight or get in Angel's way about it. And even though you could tell she really did care about the water because it meant a lot to her, and it meant a lot to her family because that was what they were baptized in. But so you can tell that she really is bothered by what he did with the water and the way he brought it up to her, but she doesn't show it.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the things that we did was we had a close-up on her face when she's looking out the window, which shows the foreshadowing that Luann is looking outside the window, which is to kind of show her longing for a better life, because she knows she's in a bad situation. She understands that Angel isn't treating her right and she's in a terrible relationship, but she's kind of putting up with it just to get that perfect family. And so we had her looking out the window to show her longing for this. Part of that was the natural lighting on Luann's face, which represents how, like, the better life that she will get, again, foreshadowing.
And also, like, it's kind of like Luann's confidence is, like, out the window, and she wants that back because Angel kind of took that away from her when they got in a relationship, and that's what she's longing for, is her sense of self and her identity that she doesn't have anymore because of Angel. And he kind of broke her in that way. The beginning of the scene shows the Tomato Man, Bobby Bingo, giving Luann her tomatoes, and he tells her, whatever you want most is going to be the worst thing for you. And we interpreted that to mean that what Luann wanted the most was a perfect family. Later on in the book, they reference the cutout doll family, and this was Taylor's reference, but I think that it applies here too, in that she wants this, like, mom, dad, kid, like what you picture when you picture a family, and she's willing to put up with Angel, which he was the worst thing for her in order to get that.
Yeah, and okay, so another technique we used in this film was filming from behind, so the viewer can't see Luann's face, which kind of reiterates how Luann is hiding her emotions and longing for this better life and not having to continuously be suppressed by Angel just to get that perfect family. Also, a big part of this is Luann, like, in the beginning, is trying to ignore the warning that the Tomato Man, Bobby Bingo, gave her, because as soon as he said that, she recognized that it was, in fact, a poor situation, and she's trying to ignore that just to have this perfect family, and yeah.
So to tie it all together, we used angles and lighting and different themes that reoccur throughout the book to show the relationships between the characters as family, and how some relationships were better than others, and this tells the reader what it means to be somebody's family and how it affects Luann when Angel as her family isn't what she needs him to be.